Alright, welcome back to episode 2. Starting off exactly where we left off. Let's just obey this.
Due to compromised flight path visibility, all military activities are suspended till sunup.
Morning Star. This is working. Curse this antiquated fox. I have vital information for techno-archaeologist Hadron Omega 77. I know of a facility hidden in one of Tertium's interzone voids. It holds the lost secrets of forging true Mobian steel.
I don't remember this cutscene as a new player, definitely not.
How have I discovered this, you ask? A gentleman never boasts. But hurry. I fear the dastardly Mobian sixths are getting closer all the time.
Yeah, I don't remember that one as a new player. That's a new cutscene for sure. First thing I wanted to do is I'll change this to something more appropriate for a reject. Make it a little bit more relatable. So the first thing I wanted to do... Okay, fair enough. The first thing I want to do is, I said yesterday you should do the additional training. So I'm going to do it now because I do want to lead by example.
Use armor-piercing weaponry and attacks to damage armored enemies.
Okay, you're like the worst armor-piercing weapon to do that.
You can perform a unique follow-up attack.
This is your push attacks like I was doing yesterday. Make sure you hit your target. Not like that. Aim for center mass. Because of the hitbox, it comes from like the right angle, so you can accidentally go past them.
Picked up and deployed to aid your team.
Nice and easy. Pick it up with your use button. Switch to it using whatever hotkey you use. I use 3, and then once it's in your hand, you can use your light attack function to deploy it. Other ammo crate, yep. It's the same thing. I can also push when I'm holding it. Don't really use this except for when you're doing like an objective. If you're holding a power cell, you can also push while holding a power cell to give yourself some space. And again, see the animation? That's me holding the special attack. I can give it to an ally to do that. I want to show you something too.
Captured by the enemy, but can be rescued.
Yep. So if I want to be quick, I can like buffer the animation so I can slide into the teammate and kind of do the revive while I'm still getting up. It'll just make the whole process quicker. So as opposed to running up, looking all the way down, and doing it's obviously going to be faster than that, but you know what I'm talking about.
Downed teammates can be helped up. In corruption reduces maximum health. If you are down when the last segment of your health bar is corrupted,
God damn.
you are incapacitated and captured.
So that purple bar is corruption. When you go down, you lose a wound. You lose that health permanently until you use a Medicae station or a health stim to remove the corruption. There are other ways to do it, like the Zealot's Aura ability and Veteran's Field Improvision talent node, but I'll get into that later. Also, like I was mentioning yesterday, if you take too many consecutive hits at a time in melee, not only will they do health damage, but they'll do corruption damage. Some do more than others, like Poxbursters for example. They do corruption damage when they blow up. The trap, if you get netted, does. The dog does. In Havoc, everything does. So just be careful, even if you haven't went down, if your corruption builds up too much, you can just instantly die without going down. Like, if a dog jumps on me right now, even though I've got 2 wounds, meaning I can go down once before I die on my last wound. If a dog jumps on me and that corruption builds up past the last wound, so I can't, so past like this bar here, past that bar there, I'll just die. Like, I won't get access to my wounds. So note that wounds can be useful, but if there's too much corruption, it'll just bypass wounds. As you saw, got rid of the corruption with the Medicae.
Dangerous enemies can be tagged to alert your team. World markers can be placed to help coordinate your team's tactics.
Never put your tag on your primary fire or any of your alternate fires. You just start randomly pinging everything you click and it's just annoying for everyone. This is very important. Don't be the boy who cried wolf. When you need to use it, spam it, get people's attention, save lives, coordinate together. Like, just imagine that for the entire run. It's bloody annoying, so don't put it on your left or right click or whatever your primary and alternate fire are. If you're a PC player or even Xbox and PlayStation, if you bind through the system, find a keybind that works, use it when necessary. It is important. There are proper ways to communicate without annoying people. You know, it's just like common courtesy, I guess, is the proper way. Just common courtesy, guys. Now, sprinting and sliding. This is my sprinting. Sliding is basically an effective dodge, but it's more effective against range attacks, whereas you want to use your normal dodge against melee, but you can also dodge range attacks. So, just to show you. Pretty cool.
Closing with ranged enemies forces them to stop shooting and engage in
So again, I want to play around terrain. So like, let's say this is Havoc with like 20 guys over there. I'm not going to be sprinting like this. I'll just get instantly nuked. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. What I will do is I'll sprint, slide, sprint, slide, sprint, slide. As soon as my character gets up and I get that one step, I'm going to slide again. If you spam it too much, what happens? See, like, you might get caught, or see how you do this mini slide because you're not getting enough momentum. So it's important to time your dodges and your slides effectively to get maximum effect. Otherwise, you will just kill yourself. So again, you hold the sprint button and then you just click when you want to slide. All I'm doing is holding sprint and clicking slide when I see the animation get to completed stage, which is basically fully standing up. So let's go do with these guys now. Like it says, this doesn't work all the time. If it's a machine gunner and they're already doing their attack, like their braced attack, they're just gonna keep shooting at you. So if you want to properly like get them into melee, it's important to push or use heavies or find a way to stagger them out of like their braced attacks. These smaller guys are fine, you don't have to worry about them. Once you get into melee, they'll engage you.
When ranged enemies are shot at, they flinch, becoming suppressed. Suppressed enemies try to take cover and will not fire back.
Now every weapon has a different like suppression value. This shredder pistol is one of the better ones. You'll learn through blessings and through your own playtesting what's good at different things. So just to show you, I don't even need to hit them. See how it's just like suppressing fire, makes them run away. Just shoot in their general direction. You don't always have to kill stuff. If I see like, so if I see like 50 guys over here, yeah, I'll try to hit them, but I also know that as long as I'm shooting bullets in that general direction, that can buy me time or my teammates to get to somewhere. It's an important mechanic. Obviously you do want to maximize how much bullets you're actually hitting, but sometimes the need does arise where you just need an ammo dump in that direction and just stop them from shooting. So remember that, it can save your life. See. I'll crouch behind cover, yeah. Alright, shoot while suppressed. See how my bullets are going all over the place? That's because I'm suppressed. As you can see, I'm a tall character. See, I'm still getting pinged. That's because I'm a tall character. And again, if you want to get out of this situation, you would have to, one of two things, you're going to dodge to the side like that. I only have 3 dodges, so typically you want 4 or 3, or as you're doing this, you're going to have to cop a bullet and like basically get up and go to the slide. Now depending on the weapon, if you have a knife, it's like if you, whatever your high mobility weapon is, that's what you want to pull out when you want to jump to different pieces of terrain.
This marks the end of your advanced training.
And that's it.
Interrogator Rannick wants to run down the source of the blighted stems once.
Righty, and I'll see you back when we get into a game. Alright, we're back into the game. So right now I am running the Mark 6 combat knife and the Vrax infantry autogun. Use whatever you like. This is what I like. Everyone's different depending on your build. Different things are going to be of more value. The difference between the marks in knife is the Mark 3 is a bit more single target. Both knives have a focus of single target, but the Mark 6 is a bit more versatile. It's got a couple of more side sweeps in it. So a bit better for horde control. So from here I can already see that there's a heretic idol. We'll just kill it now. In regards to the infantry autogun marks, the Vrax is like the SMG variant. It's got a lot of recoil. It shoots fast, has good damage, and then the 2 other marks are a bit heavier, do more damage, less ammo, more damage per shot. Play around, see what you like. That's what I recommend. At this time in your experience, just use what's fun. So again, we're using cover, no reason to push for no reason. Now that everything's suppressed, I'm going to move up, using my dodge slide so I can dodge attacks. We don't want to just be walking around like this trying to, we're just going to get shot, hit in melee. The butts have us, but you know, it's not good to build bad habits at this stage when you can do the correct thing. So again, I just want to be sprinting around. If I want to regain my stamina, just walk around with your block out. If I'm checking like loot, just do it with my block out. So what we did there, we got into melee range of that gunner to make him uncomfortable. He started to do like some pushes, some attacks, got a hit off. We saw that we were going to get shot by a sniper, so we dodged backwards and started shooting. We get the iframes during the shots, as you saw, shooting there. You can see how much damage we take just from a couple of bullets. Now, there's a wall there, that's why I can't hit him, but the basic ability on the veteran just makes it so your recoil and your damage goes, or less recoil, more damage, in the simplest terms. I'll go through what weak spots, crits and all that stuff is later. Now normally you won't be able to see how much ammo you're getting. That is a mod, so console players, I apologize, but for PC players it's a good way just to make sure you're being efficient and for lack of better terms, forgive my French, but scummy with the resources on the map. It's always about maximizing all the tools available. So yeah, I could take this now, or I could wait till this horde and then activate it, especially because I'm by myself. Now I can hear a heretic idol, that ghastly stuff, that green. Let's go kill that, get some extra resources. Let's use my ultimate because I've got a concentration stim, which means I can regenerate faster. We'll use that now. The reason we're doing that is one, because there's no other players, and if there was other players, if everyone else had a stim, then I would do this. I have my ultimate again, we'll use it. Is it necessary? No, but for the purpose of showing how to maximize a concentration stim. And then now that leads me into not wasting that resource on the map. That allows me to not waste that resource on the map. Now, depending on the difficulty, the state of the game, like the health of your allies and all that, You may not want to check all loot. Sometimes it is better to push to the next Medicaid station. Why hello there. We'll just say hello to our teammate. He's got a bolt pistol. I forgot what I was saying now, but keep going. Another thing to show, and I'll do it this game. Every map has a puzzle, a red skull. So you might see some things like, okay, well, what does this do? There'll be some weird interactable things. So on this map specifically, I don't know map names, Chasm Station. That was a scoreboard mod that you're seeing on the right. Again, console players, I apologize. So you'll see these weird interactable things. It's like, what do they do? For this map specifically, if you turn off all the vents, and it has to be all of them, you'll be able to access a secret room. And I'll show you what that red skull is. I call it a red skull, but I don't know what it's actually called. There you go. I stopped my action to get the block off. I don't want to take damage for free. Because I've got the stamina, we'll use our sprint and slides just to make distance quickly. When I want to get my stamina back, hold out my block. If I use stamina, so if I use stamina and then dodge, I won't be getting any stamina back. It delays it. So that's important to note. So that's all the vents in that sequence. This door will open. Oh. There you go. So see that skull? And if a teammate hasn't got it before, it'll award the team with extra plus, so I believe it's 100 on the hardest difficulty. I'm assuming he picked it up already. I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, if you're interested, there are guides out there. If you want me to do them, let me know. For all the puzzles and all the maps. Just a nice way to get extra resources if you're playing with friends and or more specifically randoms who haven't got it before. So they can heal up. I don't need the ammo, so I'll ping it for them. Now I see some dangerous enemies like gunners, so let's use our ultimate. Let's use our dodges. Just to get into better positioning, see how I'm less exposed here. Use our ultimate to find some enemies. We'll get some more accuracy. There you go. It's just about playing around terrain. You never want to be walking out in such an exposed area like this. Another thing to know is, while we have no friendly fire, I can't damage enemies except with barrels. Don't be that guy that kills teammates with barrels. It's not funny. Like, if you're doing it with your own friends, that's one thing. If you're doing it to randoms constantly, you're just being a dick. Let's be truthful. Like, there is a difference. I completely understand when you're doing it with friends. You do it a couple times to each other, you have a good laugh. With randoms, it's different though. Accidents do happen. That's not what I'm saying. If it happens, just say you're sorry. I'm sure they'll understand, and you move on. Everyone stays happy. You know, keep good vibes. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, there's a lot of enemies here, so I'll dodge back. Use a grenade. It's good for horde clear. Has good AOE. As you can see, I'm just spamming light attacks because it's got very good vertical swings. There's a lot of enemies. If I want something to die or just like reassess the situation, I'll hold out my block. I hear the objective go off, so let's get immediately on it. You always want to do these as quick as possible. One thing I will talk about is I'll do more of a dedicated intro video about the AI director. But yes, it's a PvE game. There's no human enemies. Obviously I've got a bunch of these NPCs on my screen, but the true enemy is the AI director. It is an invisible force and it is actively trying to kill you. There's different slots that it uses based on the game situation to spawn specials, elites and hordes. Depending on difficulty, it's more aggressive. So just know that the AI director is an invisible force that is actively trying to kill you, and that is more or less your human enemy. It's not actually human, it's an AI, but you get what I'm trying to say. We see the laser, so where's this sniper? I'm sure he's got it. Boom, nice and easy. Go to the next area. So like I said, every weapon's different. Some weapons will be able to move faster than others. I saw the laser, so we instantly dodge to make sure we don't get shot. Using our tags to make sure teammates can see it. I will take that ammo, because I can see everyone's got a lot of ammo. Just get fully stocked. One, because like I just going to assume these are new players, so if things go bad, if I have the resources or a lot of resources, I'll be fine with carrying the run or clutching the run to make sure we don't die. That doesn't mean I'm going to hug everything. As you can see, I was picking ammo and stuff before. Sharing the love is important, but in a less stressful time like this, it doesn't hurt to prioritize yourself being fully stocked if you think in that specific run you're the carry. It's always just good to assume that you're always at the same skill level of your allies, but I mean, just from long time experience, I can tell these guys are new, or at least most of them. I see dangerous enemies, so a machine gunner is called a specialist to like categorize it. I see another heretic idol, let's kill it. I saw that guy was about to hit me, so I dodged. I'll ping that for my team, I don't need that. Let's ping that for the teammate, don't need that. Now if my teammates are going to use it though, you're damn right I will. Especially if there's a boss that just spawned. Compliments of the god. Use our ultimate or our ability to get more damage. Now we have a knife. Now, like I was saying, you can combo. I saw the overhead swing, so I'm going to do a push attack, punch it. So if I do a push, punch, see how it combos back into an overhead. So when I see the overhead, I punch so I can combo into another overhead. We're just dodging as we see the attacks. We're chilling. Nothing stressful. Just use those visual cues. It has very slow attacks. The Plague Ogre is pretty easy to handle. Yes, it's more difficult in a horde, but again, as I go through this run, I'll show you all the way to Havoc 40 how to handle it. It is more or less the exact same thing, just being more alert. I think one of the biggest ways you can tell a new character is when they're standing over loot, they're just like, what is that? But when you have an experienced player, seeing loot is when you'll see them take a reload, because like they want to like restock all their resources, as I was saying, or they'll be holding their block out to like look around. I don't know, the way everyone's I'm laughing, but I started there too. I'm not trying to shit talk them, I was there too. We all started at rejected in prison cell. Alright, we'll clear out these enemies. Now obviously you want to be more efficient with your ammo, but again, for the purpose of trying to be like a new player, spray and pray, there's more than enough resources. When you notice there's not enough resources, then yeah, try to be more conservative.
My thanks.
Again, I still have more than enough toughness. I must have taken 2 consecutive hits, like a shot and a hit. That's why I took 2 health damage there. Obviously you don't want to do that. Like I said, you want to be using your dodges. So, not shooting, see that muzzle flash, that's when you want to dodge. And then, as you get into melee, they'll engage. I will take that ammo because I walked past it, so it would have been a missed resource and I can use it anyway. I can hear him, there he is. Taking the resources for my teammates. Let's ping both of those. Nice. See how I was able to cleave and sweep through a lot of enemies. That's that cleave statistic. Horizontal sweeps are typically going to be better for that. For rages, you can easily deal with them with dodges. Obviously you want to combine your attacks with it, but just to show you how to stay on the defensive, it is always important to prioritize the defense over offense. You can't do damage if you're dead. That's the bottom line. Again, to do with these guys, go up nice and close, hold out your block, get ready to push them. When they get close enough, push once or twice. I do it twice, just to make sure. Dodge back once or twice. Nice and easy to deal with. Obviously, if they're at range, plenty of range, like all the way up to where that teammate is, shoot at them, but when they get too close, don't chance it. Don't screw yourself or your teammates over. Now forgive me, I need some water. And there is none near me. So I'll get some after this video. We're chasing the enemies, one because I'm just confident in my ability, I want to protect my teammates. So that's how I would call it having impact. If I know I'm better in skill and like I can have the most impact in that situation, 3 rages can be scary for a new player, I'll chuck myself in there, pull aggro, and then basically buying time for the teammates to come together and handle the situation. So there, I couldn't see that guy attacking me, but you would have heard that sound cue. That's how I knew how to dodge at that exact moment to not get hit. Like I was saying, or put in my previous video, there are audio cues and sound cues. If you can see the enemy, you have to rely on visual cues. If you cannot see the enemy, then use your sound cues. Do they always work? No, but that's a topic for another time. Just do your best. Take 1 ammo because there's plenty. We'll reload. Chillin'. Think we're up to the boss now. Now, with this boss, I called them champions because they're basically just normal dudes that are a bit more favored by the enemy deities, excuse me. Their shields pretty much have a lot of damage reduction to most weapons. 2 weapons that excel against their shields is revved weapons, so like the chainsaw, chain axe, the heavy eviscerator, and the shock maul. I'll showcase that in another video. I already have, and that's me doing a jump. You don't want to do that. I saw him winding up for an attack. Let's use my ability, start horde clearing. I see sniper. I'm playing near the health pack, so I knew I could take some damage and I'll be fine. And we have 2. So you always want to attack the head when you can. I saw him attacking, so prioritize my block. Use my ultimate, get in there. Nice and close and personal. Spray and pray. Now, when he does, get your teammate up. The boss isn't focusing me, so get the teammate up. Except now he's about to die, so if that boss is one hit, then you kill the boss, then get your teammate up if you can, but you always prioritize a teammate if he's about to die. That's the simple logic there. GG's. Easy dubs. Nice, level 5, so there should be a cutscene now. We unlock some more weapons, and I'll take you through the Hadron area.
Recruit has reported for briefing as instructed. Recruit is 42 seconds late. Recruits have been executed for less. This unit will request permission to do so. The recruit is expected to achieve competence in regard to technical apparatus. The recruit will learn how to maintain, repair, and modify such in order to perform their duties at the maximum level of efficiency. Failure to achieve said competence will most likely cause the recruit to die.
So we're going to try a new weapon. Let's go to combat axe. Now we've got a few choices here. Now I personally recommend the Rashad, but once you get access to blessings, for the meantime I'm just going to use the standard combat antax axe. And out of these statistics, the one I'm least interested in is mobility. So this one has 73% mobility. That means out of the 300 or 400 so points that you get, I went over the exact, so what, 160, 320, 380 potential points here. That means 7 extra points are going into stuff that I want. Depending on how you want to set up your weapon, different things will be preferential to you. Now what you can also do is I'll check all the axes. And I'll buy this one, because what I can do, let's go equip this one, go back into it, and I can change it to the antax. So you buy the combat axe, but then you can apply any mark, okay? And that one has the closer to 60% mobility, which is the lowest it will go, which is considered the dumb stat, or the characteristic that or statistic that I least care about, because I want to maximize all the other ones, which is damage, the amount of damage I do to targets after the first, penetration against armor, and initial damage to the first target. So lots of damage in this weapon. That's how I want to set up personally. We see that it changed over. We'll go get a new ranged weapon as well. Ooh. Let's use a revolver. So this one has 72, 71, but this has more stats, so I'll just go with this one. 1% doesn't make that much of a difference to me. Now I've got a better knife here, so I don't need this one anymore. Discard that. Now onto my talents. I still only have 4, but I just want to touch up on it a bit more. Depending on your build and what you want to do, read up on these. There is typically like a theme. So if I look up here, you can see these pictures. Typically the left path is going to be more focused on shooting. The middle path is going to be more focused on being like a support / buffer kind of character. The right hand side is going to be your self-sufficient survivalist kind of character, which is how I like to do my veteran. Now I can put more points here, but I want to get access to my enhanced splits quicker, so I don't want to waste any points, and I recommend you don't either. Identify what you want to do. So if you want to do shooting, you come to the left, you have to take long shot, then exhilarating takedown or volley adept. I always recommend that you get some type of toughness regeneration talents or talent, depending on the build. I usually like a couple. So you would go exhilarating takedown over volley adept. If I want to come back for volley adept, that's another thing. But again, in the interest of getting as much of the important stuff as possible, like enhanced blitz, auras, abilities, and keystones, minimize how many points you're using here, figure out what you want. So again, if you're going shooting, my recommendation would be long shot into exhilarating takedown. That gives you damage and survivability, and more survivability here as you come down into your enhanced blitz. If you want to go into more of the support role, close order drill, one of the best nodes on veteran, I would recommend confirm kill. Going into my first point, you want toughness regeneration as soon as possible. These interact differently, just give them a read, they're pretty self-explanatory. A ranged weak spot kill is basically a headshot, except for the Beast of Nurgle, where it's its back, the massive yellow spot. And this is on any elite or specialist. Then stamina, which is just basically utility, can be used for aggression or defense, so you know, blocking or sprinting. You have to go here. Then if you want to go into the right hand side, this is my recommendation. Again, same reasons, you have to go one motion. I want enhanced toughness, so I go out for blood as opposed to tactical reload. If I want to come back to it, that's another thing, but not right now. We go into movement speed so we can get closer to here, and we'll chuck the next point there. Nice and simple. And as we get to enhanced blitz, I'll explain that. So let's go into our first uprising. Let's go upgrade these weapons to green. So my recommendation, if you have grey weapons and you're still like learning at the game, stay in sedition, no stress, don't stay there for too long. The second you've got green gear, push it up to uprising. When you've got blue gear, get into malice. When you've got purple gear, get into heresy. When you've got gold gear, push yourself at damnation. Now, you will slow down the higher you go because the difficulty increase spikes are quite big. So don't feel bad if like, okay, I just upgraded all gold gear, you go into damnation, you get your ass kicked. That's okay. Go back to heresy, refine, make sure you've got all the mastery down, come back to the combat mechanics. Are you blocking, dodging, using your push attacks? There's more to the game than, okay, I've got gold gear, I should be able to smash all content. No, that's not how Darktide works. Upgrade to the next tier, we consecrate it. Awesome, now it's green. I can personally upgrade it to gold because I have the mastery. Now for the sake of like getting, you've played a few games in Uprising, you've upgraded it up to 100 in power. We'll use this just to show, yes, do use your resources if you like what you're using. Playtest it more. A grey weapon and a gold weapon are completely different. So again, we'll empower up to 100.
A new marvel is awoken.
Perfect. Now in terms of perks, so as you saw, we consecrated to the next tier. We empowered it to a higher rating. Now we're going to refine, which talks about the perks. Reload speed is pretty nice on the revolvers, but I want... Now generally, flak is the most common armor type. You don't really need much help against infested and unarmored. Sometimes you do, there are weapons that benefit, but just as a rule of thumb, flak is typically going to be the most value if that's your stroke, or if it's a weapon that's good with dealing with armor and like your other, so you have a knife, you have an uncanny strike, you put carapace damage on it, you know, that becomes like, it's got a clear purpose. You wouldn't want to put carapace damage on like a standard las gun because it doesn't do well with carapace. You're making 7 damage plus 25%, what, you're getting 8 damage now, whoop-de-doo. Whereas a knife with the uncanny strike might do 1,000 damage, now making it 1,250. Situations and all the multiplicative and additive stuff aside, I'm just trying to give you a basic understanding. So I'm going to change mine to 10% flak because of what I just recommended. Have a look at these. Pretty much all of them are pretty good. I will go over why ranged weak spot damage is bad though. Just know right now it's bad, don't worry about it. Because the way it works is you do 100 damage, then your weak spot damage gives you 20 extra damage. You're doing 4% more of the 20 damage, not the total amount, if that makes sense. It's less than what you would hope it would be, so don't worry about range weak spot damage on pretty much every weapon. Everything else can have a purpose, but for the same reason, crit damage, you won't ever do that because let's say you do a crit, the damage is 100, the crit portion of the damage is 20 for a total of 120 damage. You're only increasing the 20 part portion of it, the actual critical damage portion of your total damage, not the total amount. Okay, so it's not when you do a crit all of the damage is converted into a crit. No, it's a separate category. So important to know, crit damage and weak spot damage is typically bad unless you can get a massive amount of it in some situations, like duelist on zealot or efficient strikes, I think it's called, on the veteran. I'll showcase it later. Because you get so much in one go, they're actually good, but with these, don't worry about it. For the purpose of the tutorial, I'm going to recommend and go with flak damage. And I'll do the exact same on my melee. I'm doing tier 1 just to show a similar process. Alright, a lot of talking. I apologize, but it's kind of how these videos are going to go. I recommend just chucking them on while you're reading, chucking them on while you're playing the game. Again, we're moving up to uprising now. Again, sprinting or sliding, otherwise hold the block out. Sprint into range, use terrain. Now with your block, yes, it does reduce your field of view. Your default stance does want to be a block, but again, I can see there's no enemies. If you're unsure there could be enemies, hold your block out. If you really need to see, make sure you're in a safe position to do so. Look. Just always protect yourself. Remember, you can't do damage if you're dead. Surviving is the #1 priority. So I heard the sound cue that someone's aiming at me, I just don't know where they are. I heard and saw that cue there. Let my team do that. Now I've got this revolver has the quick reload mechanic, but I do prefer the other revolver, but that's fine, we'll use this one. So as you can see, nice and quick reload. It is satisfying. What this revolver is good at is bosses specifically. It's good at just like quick drawing on bosses or quick drawing on single elites. So you will dodge that attack, get into melee. You can dodge with your block too, but depending on the situation you don't need to. If there's a lot of enemies you think you'll get hit, you can do that. I heard that cue, so I got my block out. Use dodges and blocks, let my stamina come through. I saw that I got hit, so I get my block out. I don't want to take multiple hits. It's okay to tank one. Oh, hello there. There's a spawn door there, that's right. Now there is a skull there, but it's alright, I won't worry about it this map. We'll just play the game with our teammates. You want to prioritize being in coherency, just being with your team, but for the sake of talking and showing something, I wasn't paying attention. I can hear and see sound cues, so just assessing the situation. Play it nice and slow. Trying to make sure every action is efficient. See another one. See how we get 20 players still. So each difficulty will go up by 20. This weapon's really good. It's really good at controlling hordes. So you'll pretty much just spam light attacks against hordes and your push attack. And then against single targets, you've got the heavy to just chop them on the head. So I saw the cues there. Let's pull out my ultimate. Thank you. Rather than reloading, switch to my melee. We'll take that ammo. Oh, Yusha can use some ammo. I'll take that one. Mid stim. Everyone's got grenades, so it was okay for me to take that.
Doors open. Let's take a look.
You'll learn maps and stuff as you play more. I know where I'm going and stuff. But I encourage you, explore the map, learn them. It makes the game a lot easier. It is one of the things that separates great from really great players, just being able to know where to go in a map depending on what's spawning to maximize everything. Cheeky bastard. So there'll be a medic station, that's why it's important to open doors, and I do encourage exploring if there's you have the opportunity to, you're not in danger. I'm in danger. Always open crates again, use as much resources as see a teammate's dying, so let's go get to him. Let's put out our ultimate. Using our dodges. Revive our teammate as soon as we can.
Hello!
Chillin'. Get him for the Emperor. I'm just teasing. This is Oath. We banter all the time. This is not toxic, I promise. So let's go find out what we need to scan. Well, it's important to pay attention to objectives. It's too easy to have fun in this game. So you pull out your objective thing with whatever your relevant keybind is. It'll show you what direction you pointed at it with your alternate fire, and then once it's scanned, you primary fire to scan objectives. So again, my keybind is 5, I'll wait till the servitor deploys. You'll see the item pop up on the bottom right in number 5. See how I blocked and I was out of stamina and I got staggered, but I still didn't take toughness, important to know. So now at number 5, see how I can go chase the location of it. Let it scan, once it turns green, I fire. Good chillin'. Go back to the service goal. Make sure our teammates are okay. Follow the service goal, you don't want to lose where it is. Make sure you're dodging, not like me. Go this way. Let my stamina come up. Don't want to get... I'm just waiting for the sound and visual cues. I just want to see what's on my screen. I need to sneeze, so... No, excuse me. So, if your teammates are scanning, you want to protect them. If you're the one scanning, make sure you're paying attention to, again, the video and audio cues to protect yourself. As you can see, I got more stamina with the axe too. That's just the base stamina of my character, combining with the bonus stamina of the weapon, plus any heroes which I don't have, to create my total stamina bar. And I'll explain how the stamina bar works in the next video. I think that'll be the first thing I focus on. and that's because my stability or my I forget what the other stat is, but there's like a couple of accurate, I think it's a mobility stat and stability stat. The better they are, the less chance I miss. Assuming I'm aiming on target. Yeah, we'll give it to our teammate. Now, if we go down here, that's why it's important to explore. Like, I know they're going there. I'm not at threat, so... And then we'll ping this Medicaid station over here. Again, I know the map, so I know where to go. I encourage exploring. I see everyone's ammo is good, so I'll take that one. And then I'll ping, let's go here. They're happy to follow, so I'm happy to lead. I know where I'm going. If you know where you're going, I encourage the same. Nothing wrong with taking charge and helping the team if you think you're capable. Again, I'm just chilling out, spamming light attacks for the most part, blocking when necessary to show how easy it is. Not to like talk shit, that's not the purpose, but to show that it can be done. Everyone starts somewhere, like I said. I'm just watching for the cues. It's good to just chain in some push attacks. If there is something going to hit you and you don't see it, at least you'll block it. Ping ammo. Use our block to make sure he doesn't hit us. Use a grenade. Kill that as well. Ping the ammo. So it's better to use the heavy attacks against that, but if you use the light attacks against its chest, it's also good. Different enemies have different armor types in different areas, so that one has carapace on its head and flak on its chest. Flak is usually easier to deal with.
You fuck.
Now see how that sniper lived with like one health?
Fucking what, mate?
That just means, we call it a breakpoint, so if I had like a few % more damage or a little bit more damage in my talent tree, we would one-shot that sniper, which we would call a one-shot breakpoint, but because I... Oh, no. Okay, sorry. It happens. Okay, I thought he saw it. I was too busy to. I should have pinned danger. Alright. Learning experience. It's happened to all of us. He revives here. It's fine. I'm not gonna go there. Let's go get him up first. Let's not be that guy. It was more or less my fault. So this weapon has a lot of stagger. Again, you can go to a weapon breakdown and the red number is the damage. The blue number is the stagger. Obviously, more is better. I'm using a mod to have yes and no, if you're wondering. It's like an enhanced emote wheel. I use push to talk, so communicating is difficult when I'm playing. At times. Otherwise you can just hold your block out and start talking.
Story display, Sergeant Major. I trust it will improve.
I'm sure the team values your insight, Excellency.
Make sure you use a block there. I don't want to get hit. Into a push attack.
This should prove instructive.
Just using dodges and having a look what's there. I'm not a threat, so I don't feel like I need to block. I just want the extra field of view. I need that.
Such abominable filth.
Strike team, your biotic probes are now capable of delivering the blessed unguent of shrining. Deploy them and stand by.
And prioritize objectives. Now, yes, most people will set up here because that's the exit, but we can set up here, which is where people respawn, and we're blocking a lot of line of sight. So we'll play with our team, but that's my recommendation of, again, just adapting to the situation of the map and making yourself like a little bastion, a little fortification, a bunker. When all shit hits the fan, that's going to be the safest spot. But again, it's lower difficulty, let people have fun yourself, that's the most important part. No. As soon as I'm done killing it, switch back to melee so I can get some blocks out. When I hear the objective go up, I'll show you how to do it. So you move around, you're going to look for the white one. Now I'm getting hit, but you look around, you're looking for the white one. And then when you do, you interact. You do it 3 times. So just use whatever keys you have to move around, check the different areas. Oh, I don't have ammo. Don't waste your ultimate like I did. It's just dodging at the right time. If I dodge too early, it'll still track me. If I dodge too late, it'll hit me. Now the reason I'm shooting its chest instead of the head is because, again, my weapon's not really set up to deal with carapace, which is like one of the highest tier of armor. Most difficult to deal with, I should say. So again, just look around. And its body is flak, which is much easier to deal with. So that's why I shoot its chest. Again, we're just looking around, looking for the white one, interact 3 times, done. And I didn't reload again. Now against the scab rages, so the armored rages, the 2-handed melee dudes. You want to shoot the head because that's flak, but their chest is carapace. Against the dog, I heard the dog, pull out your block and push it as it's about to pounce on you. And that'll push the dog mid-pounce and you're chilling. And make sure you're looking at your current ammo and reloading more often. Don't want to be stuck with no ammo when you could have had ammo. Yeah, let's get out of here.